The Cardano blockchain is approaching its endgame. It's restructuring its endgame, and it's currently working on the very pinnacle of blockchain tech, which would be on-chain governance. Let's talk about it in today's video. First things first, if you have ADA, you can stake it with the Jack stake pool to earn passive ADA on your ADA, but in reality, most of crypto right now is pretty sideways. Yeah, Bitcoin went up a bit. Yeah, Cardano went up a bit, but in reality, things are not popping. They're not going crazy. It's not a bull market yet. However, in terms of developments on the cryptocurrency side, things are pretty smooth, especially for the Cardano blockchain. As you can see here, we have a 5-part roadmap, and we're currently in the era of scaling the Cardano blockchain and governing the Cardano blockchain. But more recently, a lot of people who are building in the Cardano blockchain have been pretty excited. The future of Cardano could be unstoppable, and especially if we get governance right. A lot of people in this space that have built applications with thousands or tens of thousands of users and DEXs are inspired by the latest developments in Cardano, and moving from a contingent staking or CS debate, which was a hot topic last month in Cardano, and a big debate on KYC in the future of Cardano's L1, the layer 1 blockchain. But now we're going towards a proposal for entering the Voltaire phase. So as you can see here, we have Voltaire. This is a proposal, or a community improvement proposal, 1694, talking about basically laying down the foundations of decentralized decision making. This hasn't really been done before successfully, as far as I know. We have governance platforms out there in Cardano. We have them out there on Ethereum blockchain and other blockchains. But in general, crypto hasn't been able to, or really any of the world has been able to get governance right, never mind on-chain governance for a blockchain. So this is a tough topic. There needs to be a lot of people's voices and eyes, especially technical experts on this. And it is now a conversation with those advanced technical experts and yourself, if you want to participate, to go towards this era in a better way, in the best way possible, and map that best way possible out. Now, keep in mind, Cardano improvement proposals, or CIPs, are intended to be the primary mechanisms for proposing new features, collecting community input on an issue, and documenting design decisions that have gone into Cardano. So right here, we have a new CIP that is kind of mapping out the end game for Cardano, or Cardano's final piece of the roadmap, and laying down how Cardano is going to achieve on-chain governance and governance in general for the blockchain, and if it's going to do it well or if it's going to flop is going to be determined a lot by the decisions made in this proposal here. So at first, what seemed to be just another era in the roadmap that the founders of Cardano would take in their hands and make a perfect solution for has evolved to much more. It's now a decision and a proposal, or at least there's a forum for proposal here, to make it better than it would be or could be, or even maybe should be. So right now, this is good. But one more thing to go over in this evolution, we have to keep in mind what is a CIP. And the first step of evolutions for the protocol on CIPs, right now it seems the CIP process, its goals and actors are still not well understood. In particular, the latest CIP proposal, what is the purpose of this and how is it going to benefit Cardano? So some clarifications by a prominent member of Cardano and a nice developer who's made a lot of stuff in Cardano too. If you want to check out this thread, it'll be linked in the description below. But in short, let's go over it. Let's say clearly again, CIP process is not a governance mechanism. By itself, it is not a governance mechanism. That's what this proposal is doing, to try to make a governance mechanism. But the CIP process by itself is not a governance mechanism. They're not voted on, and they are not decisions, but they are solutions proposed in this proposal format. In the same way of having multiple designs for a car doesn't tell you which one is picked at the end. So the CIP process is for Cardano improvement proposal, which represents documenting, proposing a technical solution to a specified problem. And the specified problem here is, how do we enter the Voltaire phase? How do we go to on-chain governance? How do we transition to that for Cardano? Now that we have a question proposed and a problem, we can come up with a solution to entering the era through a forum of technical experts and people who want to converse and make a better standard for interoperability between all factors and actors of the ecosystem. Having a CIP helps expose a solution to other actors with a similar problem and reach consensus about hopefully the best solution to entering the end game of Cardano's era, or 5-step roadmap. I know a lot of people in the community have felt that CIP process is safeguarded and it's an ivory tower and nothing gets pushed through. It just sits there and none of these CIPs do anything. But truthfully, that's not really how it is, at least in Ktor's eyes. CIP editors are merely there to enforce the process and is followed to mediate conversation. They aren't the ones deciding if proposals get accepted into the protocol. Reviewers and authors are. Yet it is true that most editors, like Ktor himself, are also reviewers, and so many members of the community in general. The tasks of a reviewer and an editor are very different, though. The reviewer process is open to all technical folks and is driven by CIP authors. And you can think of CIP process as a way to get feedback. If you think of a technical solution and you want to get an opinion of people with expertise on the matter, then this is a great place to visit, and you can ask and poll those people who have the expertise to help you. So now you may be curious, why is there a CIP for such a defining moment or a proposal for entering the final phase of the Cardano roadmap? Isn't this part of the endgame? Shouldn't have this already been sorted? Well, it's a crucial step in order to think about how we want to organize governance on top, yet for now, it's only defining what tools we'll have at our disposal. So right now, the goal at this stage is to decide on what on-chain capabilities we want to introduce or change that are already configured, what would be best for this phase of the roadmap. And that's why there is now going on a focus group in Colorado with major protocol updates coming forward as a CIP, which is right here. Once again, the end game of evolution. And we need to get this right and design a solution that satisfies everyone. That seems impossible, but although it seems impossible doesn't mean it is. I know everyone's not going to be necessarily happy, but satisfying everyone or getting closer to it means that the system is probably better equipped to handle what it's set out to do, to govern on-chain and allow people to actually have a difference and say a difference with their decentralized ecosystem wallet. I know at that point I was just throwing around words, but the truth is we need a place, and that would be a blockchain, to have a decentralized way to govern things. And doing it on chain, on Cardano blockchain, is a great way. So we need to get this right to have that as an option for you, for me, for all of humanity. And if we can get it to satisfy as many people as possible, especially appease the technical experts who have been studying and wanting to make this the best solution possible, then we're going to be a lot further along the line than if we just went with whatever was specified at the start of the roadmap many years ago and not looking back. It's better to improve it and make it better before launch, and after launch then edit it from there. But if the foundations are shady, then the tower of governance is going to fall quickly. That's all for today's video. If you guys want to follow me twice a week and get a newsletter straight to your inbox about all things crypto, Cardano, business, and more, then consider subscribing to the first link down in the description, which is my newsletter for Kit Philosophy. Anyways, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video regardless. It's been your friend Jack. Peace.